Go.
In honor of hitting 100,000 sessions in the month of July, I am celebrating this magnificent milestone with some champagne. Let's go! Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again. Big update from my website. I hit 100,000 organic sessions in 1 month. That's up from 60,000 in June. I'll bring this forward just so you can see it a little bit better. So as you can see here, 108,000 sessions took place in July. So again, I'm looking at organic traffic right up there. And of course, this is for the stadium reviews. It's a big update, and I wanted to take some time to go over this, kind of put in more context of how I hit this milestone and kind of what that means for me. I usually go on an afternoon walk in the middle of the day, so I figured I would spend this time recording a video of the stadium reviews. So 3 years ago, I bought the domain name, thestadiumreviews.com, off GoDaddy. Initially, this blog was just a place for me to write about every stadium I went to and what I thought of it. And if you're wondering, I've been to half of the ballpark. So if I can get out to DC this year, that's over the halfway point. That's my goal. But anyway, I wrote all this content. I would share it on Reddit, get like a few upvotes, discussions, but not a lot of organic traffic. But when I went to new ballparks, I had two questions I always wanted to know about. One was the parking, and one was about the food. Because especially if I was traveling somewhere like, let's say I was driving out to Chicago or another ballpark that I couldn't necessarily take a train to and I would have to, drive to. I need to figure out like what time the gates open, if you could bring in a backpack, all that stuff. And then the food was another thing. For example, I went to Cleveland 2 years ago and I had no idea what to expect. I looked up Indians. Well, they were the Cleveland Indians, now they're the Cleveland Guardians. But I looked up exactly like what type of food I should get. And the stadium food was so much better than what people were even talking about. So I found out that there was a gap online with food and also parking. So I wrote about those two as well. And that drove more traffic. I partnered with Spot Hero. Made a little bit of money off commissions. Not that much, but enough for me to get interested in, affiliate marketing. Then the pandemic hit in March 2020, and I bought Project 24 from Income School. Now, I'm not an affiliate of them, but I will leave a link to them because I think their content is incredibly valuable. I only watched maybe a couple courses. Honestly, I didn't do the whole thing because I didn't buy it for that reason. I bought it more for the monetization part. So I learned about revenue per 1,000, Google AdSense, Mediavine, AdThrive, Ezoic, all these different, platforms, which I never even heard about. So for me, it was invaluable how good their content was. And what I did from March and April of 2020 is that I redid my entire SEO strategy. I started writing content around questions like, what does whip mean in baseball? What does OPS mean in baseball? What does WAR mean in baseball? Can an umpire be ejected? I have a running Excel spreadsheet with all these ideas I have to write content. So initially, I was the one writing all the content. And my process would be to stay up late, write content, next morning wake up, edit it within Grammarly and proofread it twice, upload it, throw a keyword into SEMrush to track, and then go forward. And I did that for about a year. And obviously with the pandemic and sports not open, traffic never really grew. It actually kind of grew, I take that back, it did kind of grow in October for the World Series. So that told me that there is interest, it's just that the interest needs to be organically created by people. I can't do it myself. But anyway, fast forward now to April 2021. Baseball is now running. And for a year plus, I wrote all this content on my site that eventually over 3 months to 6 months now is on page 1 of Google. And that demand hit. So traffic went from I think a couple thousand to like 10,000 to 15,000 to 30,000 to 60,000, now all the way up to 100,000 per month. And when I look at my charts and I talk to some people about the traffic, it's always like, well, what'd you do? Did you do link building? Which, by the way, I don't do any link building whatsoever. But anyway, it's always a question of like, well, what'd you do? Did you share it on social media? Did you, get it pinned somewhere? Did you put it like on a message board, like Reddit? Like, what's happening? How did you get all this traffic? And the answer is, it's just hard work. It took a year plus of just writing content to nobody because of the pandemic. And that I could have easily quit. If I've never done SEO before, I could have just said, this is a waste of my time. I'm just gonna focus on something else that matters. But I put in all the work for a year, just wrote content, got it to rank, and now the demand is there. So anyway, I hope this video was interesting to you. You learned a little bit of behind the scenes of 3 years ago, got the website. Now I've been writing content ever since. So if you're interested in learning more about SEO or affiliate marketing, let me know. And as always, have a good rest of your day.